I fail to see how this guy just fell out of the sky. I just do. And I do know that his wife worked for Janelle campaigning for her on May 20th, the election, outside the Y. So there's a whole lot of conflict here that I don't like. And that's one of the reasons why I spoke out tonight. I think this person was brought here to do this, and I just don't agree with it. I don't agree with how this went down. I think it's very political, obviously, and I think we could have done a better job advertising and vetting more people instead of doing it in 3 days and 2 weekend days. But here we are, so that's what I wanted to say on this.
Well, I don't know Alan Weir, but I just want to say he had a great interview. He had a great resume, and I really appreciated that he has experience with a zero-based budgeting and curriculum review. So I think both of those would be very good for us.
And also, just to note, we had a good discussion overall, vetting a lot of people, were just discussing the superintendent position. And had everybody been here during that meeting, they would understand where we're coming from.
Plus, things were in the news before we ever.
It's public knowledge.
Before we ever got to a decision on how we were going to. So if somebody sent something in before we made our decisions, they got it from the news.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Motion carries. End of personnel report under curriculum and policy. Item A is noted for discussion. Do we need to do B and C separate, or can we do them together? Can I have a motion to approve CCMP items B and C?
So moved, Mayor Brennan. Second, Wrestler.
Any discussion?
Again, I'd like to thank the board for taking the time in the curriculum meeting to address this issue and actually bring forth a organizational chart that I deem to be correct. Thank you.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Yerger, ACTI report.
There was a discussion that they've narrowed down plan searches down to 2 parcels, but there's a lot of hoops that we have to jump through with local governments, local utilities. There's a lot of discussion to be able to see how this is going to move forward, and you know, that's what they're really trying to concentrate on right now, and there will be more information coming in my next report.
All right, there's nothing from the SBA. For the final time, Dr. Mitchell, superintendent report.
Thank you. Just to share a little bit, and after Carrie's finished writing, I'll just ask her if you can pull the document up. This past July, the administrative team completed 2.5 days worth of retreat, focusing on communication and working to develop a long-range vision. At its conclusion of August, the team met again to review what individuals, buildings, and departments had put together independently of each other. And what resulted was this document that I had put together to review all of the desired future realities of the district. We worked heavily with a book study, The 3 Laws of Performance by Zaffron and Logan, which allowed us to take a look at what context we live in and what future reality we would like to have and how to get there. So it was very encouraging that this administrative team developed ideas independently, and when shared collectively, they all fell under the same umbrella. So we all aligned with what we wanted. Next slide, please, Carrie. So from this, and you'll be able to visit this in the future and see it on the website, As a result of our book study, survey results, and our relation of both of those to the 24-25 goals that we had all set, we all desire to have a student-centered approach. We all desire to make sure that we are collaborative in nature. We all desire to make sure that we have common assessments and real-world applications that are there. In this document on the second slide, you'll also see highlighted in blue items that we as an administrative team saw and recognized in alignment with proposed board goals. So as the board met with me on July 15th, we began discussing proposed goals for the district, and one of those items is the improved academic success. So as you see, you'll see other items that the board had decided that they would like to have as proposed goals that align with our building administrators and our central office staff. Oh, one more. There we go. We've also looked at a future reality that identifies behavioral goals, school safety, and staff morale and culture. These are 3 items that this board decided were worthy of consideration for board goals moving forward. Trying to make sure that we have discipline in our schools, make sure that we have safety measures in place, and make sure that we have a staff that builds a culture of collaboration and increases the morale of each other. Additionally, and lastly, we really looked at the continued community relations, transparency, which works to ensure accountability, and again, these areas of focus provide an umbrella that all building administrators work together to identify what our desired future reality would be for each building or each department. And if we could go to the very last slide, this really speaks the best. Action moving forward. Our administrators, building and department administrators, reviewed all of their desired future realities and placed them into measurable and attainable goals moving forward. It doesn't necessarily mean that these goals will be realized within 1 year's time, but it means that they are working toward that desired future reality that has students at the center, that has success at the heart of what we do, and transparency and accountability, all while being safe and making sure that we have strong discipline measures within our buildings. So I would also just like to say at the conclusion, thank you, Carrie, that's the end of that slide for our desired future reality. I would also just like to share this. I know that you thanked me earlier, but I just want to say to the community of Littlestown, since August 2021, I have been fortunate enough to work with an outstanding group of teachers and administrators who place student success above themselves. They partner with parents who wish to expand opportunities for students, and it has worked with a community filled with pride and purpose. I leave knowing that I've been part of creating and implementing a graduation policy that prepares our students for career or college success, a curriculum revision cycle and process that ensures all curriculum is never more than 3 years old, and the development of a Master's of Education program for new teachers straight out of college that costs them no out-of-pocket money to begin and go through and develop their abilities. As Mr. Lovell shared, tonight's board meeting is the very first to provide a live video stream for the community engagement, and I'm proud to say that this feature is made possible through the efforts of an outstanding IT department and board secretary who worked to make sure that this was provided for the board. Lastly, I want to say that I leave the district and the school directors with an opportunity to offset the costs of much needed capital improvements with revenue from real estate sales that will be coming forth. This allows the board to improve campus quality for students and staff while not overburdening the taxpayers of the community. These projects will provide additional streams of revenue as well as plant the seeds of community development and a process in place for that and the continued success of Littlestown. I am proud to leave this district with systems in place ensuring that all departments work together independently and collaboratively. And I would just say that during our administrative retreat, we really came together to say each of us is mutually invested in one another's success. And as long as a system truly has individuals that are invested in one another's success, they can always help the team win. So it's been an honor and a privilege, and I thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mitchell.
Oh, there is one other item, sorry. I'm going to provide, I'm going to provide the board with copies of the results of the community survey that were released. I did share with the board that I would be providing them. This document will go onto the board website tomorrow as a pop-up or as an item for folks to be able to see. It is a result of what we received from the board, what we received from the community. I would remind everyone that we surveyed students, we surveyed staff, employees, support staff, administrative staff, teaching staff. We surveyed parents. We also surveyed the community. So this is a compilation of all of that information for the community to be able to see. Now that ends my report. I apologize for extending.
Any questions for Dr. Mitchell? Thank you, Dr. Mitchell. Under old business, the FMX report, monthly enrollment report, and LIU board meeting minutes are noted. And following adjournment, the board will hold a special session to conduct interviews for a board vacancy. Is there any new business to be brought before the board?
I do. Just want to make sure, I know I say this every so many months, but we want to finish the board goals. We could do a retreat to completely finish that. And then I was wondering if we could do like a board highlights after meetings, like on our district Facebook, social media and website, just to say, hey, look, this is what highlights from the meeting or whatever. I'm just suggesting. I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen. It's just new business. We could like put that on an agenda. I don't know. Is that a curriculum thing? Or?
That's a discussion. Do other school board members have thoughts or comments on that?
Yeah.
Highlights?
Yeah.
Social media, website?
District website. I mean, I don't mean a school board Facebook page or anything, but like on the district. Like, hey, you know, this is what top highlights from the board meeting or curriculum meeting or whatever. Is that okay? I'm not saying it's going to be you, Carrie. I'm just, it's going to be.
Dave, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't believe that's an action that requires a vote.
No.
So, is there a consensus amongst the board to allow leadership to work with Carrie to start implementing and developing that? Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Is there any other new business?
Yes, I'd like to call for an executive session, post adjournment of this meeting to ask the solicitor about some legal matters.
Okay.
Oh, you mean before the special session?
Do we want to do before or after the special session? Can we do the interviews first?
That's fine, that's fine.
Okay.
Does the new person, can the new person do executive session?
Yeah,
They're not
because
sworn in yet?
sworn in.
Gotcha. So it doesn't matter.
Correct, Dave?
Correct.
I have one other item of new business. I'd like to gauge the board's thoughts on changing the process for reviewing solicitor reports and invoices. Currently, the process is that board members have to request to meet with the superintendent at some point during the work week. I'd like to recommend something along the lines of board leadership and the superintendent being available approximately 20 to 30 minutes before the regular board meeting to review those invoices and reports with any interested board members prior to the meeting.
Would that mean that they can't come in and do it if they want to?
If they would want to, they certainly could. I think that this would give board members easier access because they would be coming in anyway. They're coming into the meetings, and I think that it would also free up the superintendent and Tom and the staff during the day, so that that's one less thing on their plate during the work.
Do you have a comment? What do you think?
In the perspective of transparency, it's always been and has been protocol since December of 2023 when I came on the board for me to obtain solicitor invoices. It got changed when everybody started changing it, but the point of the matter is it makes it very inconvenient for the superintendent, Tom, and everybody else to be doing it that way. Now, we get what's called solicitor reports. We get them sent by email. We read them. They're confidential. It's over. I don't know why we're thinking about restricting the solicitor invoices. I've been reading those invoices.
We're not restricting, we're saying,
Well-
instead of making you come in during the day, they'd be available.
Yeah, but that's only 20,
before
that's
the-
only 20, 30 minutes before a meeting. That's, your mind's going 1,000 miles per hour when you get here.
Well,
That's
like I
not
said,
the time.
I never saw a solicitor bill.
Well, and
invoice
that's your
for
problem.
board.
That's your problem.
I'm saying,
You should be
4
saying
years on the
it.
board, nobody ever gave that to us.
And nobody does but me.
So let's,
No, I mean.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm fine with coming in
I
20 minutes,
don't.
30 minutes earlier, if able, to look
No.
at before a meeting. If that frees up our administration,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Freeze them up just to give them to me. By
uh,
law.
They'd still be available early.
No, paper to me would be nice, just like they used to.
Well, there's a reason
Never
we can't.
had an
go
issue.
ahead, Dave, do you have a comment on this?
Yeah, so I'll jump in on this, just because there always seems to be a lot of conversation about these invoices. They're available, like, they are for the board. You as the board are the client, right? There's nothing in there that you shouldn't be aware of generally, unless maybe it's confidential student matter, but we wouldn't put that much information in there. And I have no problem with any member of this board seeing those invoices. I've offered to make myself available to answer questions on those invoices, but that offer has not been taken up on. I think the concern arose, and the board leadership changed the process related to this, because there was a fear that the information would be shared out to the public, and the board would be waiving the attorney-client privilege and potentially exposing the district's liability. So these processes and procedures are in place to protect the board at the direction of the board leadership, and to protect the district at the direction of board leadership, so that we don't lose the attorney-client privilege with respect to the information that's in there. This is entirely up to you, but I want it said here in front of everybody and the public as a whole, there's nothing in there that this board can't see. This is just to make sure that everyone is seeing the same information and information is not getting leaked. Is that accurate and fair?
Yes.
Okay.
And the current procedures that were put in place under previous board leadership, current board leadership sees potential for improvement of the procedures that better balances board member access with confidentiality concerns.
I just love how we talk about confidentiality concerns. Has anybody been convicted of leaking confidential solicitor invoices other than
I don't
Janelle
know
Ressler?
that- I don't-
Other than Janelle Ressler?
Excuse me,
In a public meeting?
that's not accurate to my knowledge.
Oh, it is accurate, it's on video.
Mr. Sullivan, do you want an answer to your question, or do you?
I want to know why I do not get these paper versions of these. Look, I sat here in a meeting last year when y'all handed each of us a packet of that exact descriptive invoices to prove a point that I cost the district $5,000, $6,000. Now you're telling me I'm not good enough to see what you all handed me to try to embarrass me in a public meeting, which is what y'all tried to do. So now you're coming back and saying, well, we don't want you to see them anymore, Dwayne, because we don't have a purpose. We don't want to tell the public that you just cost us $6 grand writing a right to know. See, I find that a bit disingenuous, Nick. I really do. I do. It is disingenuous that you all say that. You handed me, I still have a packet. I still have it. You all handed me word for word the packet because you wanted to shame me in a public meeting. And yet today you say, we're worried about leaks. Well, you weren't worried about it when you handed me that. And that's my whole point. This is all political. This is going after me. That's all you want to do. That's all you guys want to do.
Who's on board leadership? I don't even know who's on the board.
No, board, it doesn't matter. These solicitor invoices, I've been getting them for over 11 months without an issue.
Okay, you talk, now I'm gonna talk. So,
I have a big problem with it.
you have full access to see the solicitor. You're saying that we're trying to keep you from seeing them.
Well, you are. You're not giving them to me.
Excuse me, I'm speaking. you've been given the opportunity, you come in every month to review them with Dr. Mitchell. This proposal is, in theory, going to possibly make your life easier, but if you are so against it, we can just keep things the way that they are.
What I like to do, Nick, is an audit. And I can't do an audit sitting in Mitchell's office.
Dr. Mitchell, do you prevent him from looking at the solicitor bill?
No, it's not that, an audit.
Not at all.
Well,
An
Dave
audit.
said he'll sit with you and tell you, go over it with you.
No, I can't do an audit when he's sitting there because it takes my time to do an audit. Not a cumulative of the bills, but I audit to make sure you all are following policy 012. And I can't do that in Mitchell's office.
I'm not sure why you care, because you voted against the policy, so I'm not sure.
Well,
why you
because
care.
it's already enacted and we should be following it.
Okay, well, it's.
We are, as far as I'm
And you have the ability.
How do I know it's being followed? If
Because
you all
have
are hiding the
ability-
What do you
invoices.
mean you all, why do you keep
Nobody's
saying
hiding
you all?
anything.
Because the
Nobody's
board
hiding
decided,
anything.
because
Dr.
as
Mitchell
I
said
remember,
that 2 years
months ago, no, months ago, you all decided not to make
Okay,
this
we're
restriction.
gonna reel it in. Is there any other new business?
Obviously.
So are we gonna make it, are we able to say, I mean,
He
that
says he just,
works for
we'll
everybody?
just say,
to-
forget it, he can go in and visit.
Okay, that's fine, all
I
right,
mean, if he doesn't want him available a half an hour before the meeting, then no sense.
okay.
All right, anything else? Is
What are
there,
you talking about?
is there
Can't do an audit.
is there a motion to adjourn the regular session?
So moved, Wrestler.
Second, Steve Huber.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed? Adjourned. 5 minutes, or we'll say, 7:30.
Oh, did you? I didn't even notice.
Special session.
It's across my leg.